The quaint but warm and comforting New England town of Nantucket is filled with people looking for love and looking to avoid any disasters in the name of love. Their one hero to look up to for guidance is Kate Lawrence, the relationship expert. Kate Lawrence and Anna prepare to shoot Kate's show called Just No. It gives the best dating advice, according to Dr. Kate Lawrence, PhD. When Anna starts recording, Kate begins to talk about the 3 red flags of a first date. Women are listening to her show on their mobile phones and iPads everywhere, agreeing with the rules she tells them about the do's and don'ts of a first coffee date. Lucas Wright is in the market, minding his business, having a regular day. In the same market, Kate is walking hand in hand with her long-term boyfriend Brian Pankhurst. He notices how Kate is somewhat of a celebrity in this little town, and wonders if she will be okay with this lack of fame once she moves to Seattle with him, where he is based for his medical equipment supply business. Kate lightly suggests that maybe he should move to her town instead. But he shoots it down, as he has done before, because it would be bad for business. Kate immediately clarifies that it was just a joke, and expresses her optimism about the career opportunities once she moves to Seattle with him. The topic of their conversation shifts to her latest video, and he compliments it, also while being grateful he didn't ask her out for coffee on their first date. Kate lovingly tells him that he's perfect. Brian buys her some flowers, which she is getting a whiff of when Lucas says hi to her. He informs her that the standing desk that she ordered earlier is almost finished, and tells her to be more patient, which is usually unlike her. He goes on to introduce himself to Brian as Kate's old high school friend. Kate introduces Brian as her fiancé, which is a bit shocking for Lucas, who sees Kate at the farmer's market every weekend. But this is his first time seeing Brian there. He wishes them the best before they walk away. Brian assumes that he is one of Kate's ex-boyfriends, but Kate denies it, claiming that he isn't her type. Then she suggests that they should announce their engagement to the public, because it happened so fast, and it would be sweet to break the news to her fans. Brian is concerned that people would think they're rushing into marriage, but Kate is just excited because she loves Brian. He meets her in the middle and agrees to it, as long as the announcement is simple, nothing flashy, which is the total opposite of what her agent Pam has planned out for them. She is amazed at the rate Kate's blog is growing, and has managed to score a meeting with a book agent and publisher for her in an effort to get her a book deal. Pam wants her engagement announcement as an opportunity to prove to Kate's fans that she practices what she preaches. Pam gives her the idea of throwing a party where all the locals are invited, to be the perfect quintessential small-town wedding event. Kate loves the idea, but there's a problem with the promise she made to Brian earlier. However, she decides that this is necessary for her to be a best-selling author, and decides to follow through with the plan. Kate is shooting her next video, about dating men who cook, when a knock on the door interrupts her. Anna answers the door to reveal Lucas, who has come over to deliver Kate's desk. He brings it in, and Kate finds it beautiful. Lucas finds out about her dating blog, about which he knew nothing before. He promises her that he'll check the blog out, which leads to Kate giving him some impromptu advice. She talks about how a guy shouldn't show up to a date with his friends, who break the girl's valuable stuff. Lucas replies that a guy would only do such stupid stuff when he's a teenager. Anna detects some tension between them, but they both act dumb, and Lucas leaves. Kate is working later that evening when Brian calls her. He apologizes for not calling sooner, because he was busy with work. Kate asks him about the engagement party Pam wants to throw, but Brian isn't as convinced, because he knows that nothing is simple when it comes to Pam. He wants it to be a private event, and not something to be showcased on Kate's blog. Kate negotiates with him and agrees to do the announcement, get some pictures taken, and then just have dinner with him. Brian's phone is constantly ringing because of incoming text messages, so he hangs up without responding to Kate's, "I love you." At the prestige oceanfront resort, Pam pitches one more of her brilliant ideas to Kate and Brian. She says that since no one knows who Brian is, the identity of the groom should be kept a secret until the moment of the announcement. Pam also surprises them with the setup of Kate's usual office backdrop. Pam has done this to give off the impression to Kate's viewers that this is just a regular video which Kate is broadcasting from her office. Then, as soon as Kate breaks the news of Brian being her fiancé, the backdrop will be removed to reveal the actual engagement party. Brian isn't very impressed with this gimmick, because he didn't want to be in the public eye in the first place. Nevertheless, he agrees to do it to help Kate. Kate calls him perfect again, which makes him a little uncomfortable, probably because of the pressure this label puts on him. The party is beautiful. Kate shows up in a white suit to set up for the shoot. When she sees that Brian isn't there yet, she gets a bit anxious, but he manages to get there in time. Brian is wearing the suit given to him by one of the sponsors of the event, and is worried to see this huge turnout of people at the party, because this is all the exact opposite of what he wanted. Lucas arrives at the party with his golden retriever, confused to see the magnitude of the event. The plan for the shoot is for Brian to enter the frame when Kate announces her engagement, and until then, he has to hide. The execution of this ridiculous yet well-intended plan begins, as Kate stands in the frame with a live audience of locals, who are attendees of her party. They cheer and clap for her as she breaks the news of her engagement, overjoyed with enthusiasm. As soon as it's Brian's cue to enter, the camera malfunctions and stops filming. Pam tries to fix the situation, but Brian brings Kate to the side because he needs to talk to her urgently. They move to another canopied area where Lucas joins as well, following his dog who ran off. Brian breaks off their engagement, and Lucas overhears their conversation. Kate is in denial and disbelief and tries to meet him in the middle, but it's too late because it seems like he is already seeing someone else. Lucas feels bad for intruding on this vulnerable and heartbreaking moment for Kate, but he can't just leave. Brian has decided that he and Kate aren't meant for each other, so he walks away from the party. Pam finds Kate to inform her that they're ready to shoot, but she runs off. Lucas finds Kate standing on the pier all by herself. She is furious at herself for falling for someone who'd do this to her. Lucas tries to comfort her and knock some sense into her, as they used to be friends before going on that horrible date together. Kate has surrendered to the fact that her love life and career are over, but Lucas doesn't want her to lose everything she has worked so hard for. As she struggles to share the news of her recent heartbreak to the camera, Lucas jumps in to rescue her and tells the audience that he's Kate's fiancé. Pam and Anna are equally as shocked at this as Kate herself. As soon as the backdrop is removed, Kate pulls Lucas to the side, confused about why he did this. Kate tells Pam and Anna about Brian. Pam's mind starts churning when she finds out that Lucas is literally Mr. Right. Kate is determined to tell the truth to everyone, but Pam reminds her that it would cost her the book deal she wanted so badly, and advises Kate to go along with it for some time, at least until the book deal is finalized. Lucas is fine with the idea, but Kate is sure that no one will be convinced about them actually being together. Pam points out that this is the only chance Kate has to save her future, and Lucas requests her to let him turn into a good friend from a hypothetical idiot. Even though Kate finds it crazy, she realizes that she has no other choice than to play along with this ruse. Kate and Lucas are on the dance floor when Lucas asks her why her face dimmed down. Kate replies that the song playing right now was the one that Brian picked out to be their song. Lucas walks to the DJ's booth and makes him change the song to something more upbeat. Kate likes this gesture because this is her favorite song, and Lucas is just glad to see her happy. They continue dancing and laughing together on the dance floor. Later, when Anna asks Kate how she really feels about the situation, Kate admits that her mother must be looking down on her from the heavens for being just as big a failure at relationships as she was. She talks about her parents, who couldn't stand each other for the most part of their marriage, and split up. They couldn't even get a chance to reconcile before they both passed away. This is the reason why Kate does what she does. She wants women to get it right the first time. But now she's not so sure about it, because she herself failed. They meet Lucas and Pam in the lobby. Pam hands her the key to the room she and Lucas will be staying in, because they have to shoot the video making their plans with the wedding planner tomorrow morning. Pam tells Kate to start acting as if she really is getting married to Lucas, since she has now booked a wedding venue for them in 3 months' time. Later that evening, Kate is in her room, feeling disappointed and lonely because of what her life has turned into. Lucas hears her groaning and crying from outside the room and calls his mom. The next morning, Kate wakes up to many text messages from Pam that she's scored the book deal. Lucas is surprised to see her so giddy at breakfast, since she was crying last night. They are joined by Phyllis, who has been the wedding coordinator at the hotel for 30 years. Kate and Lucas are constantly being recorded by a cameraman, Henry, while they test cake flavors, which Lucas seems to enjoy a lot. Phyllis tells them that the strawberries and champagne ordered 3 days ago by the name of Brian have been delivered to the front desk. Kate tells Phyllis to keep it, and calls Brian to ask him to cancel the romantic gifts. Brian's new girlfriend picks up the call. She tells him to cancel his gifts and keep this a secret, ending the call with her heart even more shattered than before. Pam directs Kate and Lucas to go for a walk on the beach together for the camera. As Henry records them walking, Pam makes them hold hands. Lucas apologizes for how rough his hands are, which comes with the territory of making furniture. Some of Kate's fans run into them and get a selfie with the newly engaged couple. Lucas finds a spot for them to sit by the beach on the sand. He makes an elaborate sandcastle, while Kate sits on one of the rocks, waiting for him. Pam and Henry are thriving at this point, because of all the quality content they're getting. Henry has to go, so Pam leaves with him. This is when a wave suddenly crashes into the sandcastle Lucas made and washes it away. Kate regrets not taking a photograph of the sandcastle. Lucas teaches her that every moment in life is temporary, and she should just enjoy them while she's living in them. Kate questions whether he had the same impulsive approach when they were kids, and Lucas clarifies that a lot has changed since he was a teenager. Kate explains that the real reason she got so hurt was that the glass hummingbird his friends broke at her house was the last thing her mom ever gave her. Lucas apologizes, because he had no idea about the sentimental value the artifact had for Kate. She proposes setting a date in late May to be the official day of their pre-decided breakup, and Lucas complies without any objections. Kate is at her house, shooting yet another video for her fans, keeping up with the pretense of her ideal engagement. Anna calls Kate out on spending the whole day with Lucas, even after Henry left. Kate admits that he invited her to dinner at his parents' house, blushing, yet denying any attraction between them. The next day, Lucas picks her up in his car, which is filled with sawdust, but Kate tries not to make a big deal out of it. When Pam calls Kate, Lucas reminds him of the no phones at dinner policy at his parents' household. Kate dismisses it as a joke. Lucas shows his house to Kate, which is right across from his parents' bungalow. Lucas's parents, Susan and Roy, are glad to see Kate after so many years. Lucas introduces Kate to his sister Jamie, who is already a fan of Kate's blog. Kate looks around the magnificent house until Susan hands her a salad bowl and requests her to take it upstairs to the balcony where they have dinner on Sundays. Lucas teases her about her fear of heights as she manages to sit at the dinner table. Susan stops Kate from using her phone and shows her distaste for the roost they're putting up because she doesn't trust Kate. Lucas's family has its quirks, but they are nice people. Kate finds out that Lucas went to Princeton and had a job in New York, which he quit to move back home and do something he enjoys. He used to have a fiancée as well, Emily, who passed away, and is the reason why he always tries to stay in the moment. Brian calls Kate at this point, but she ignores it and plays pool with Lucas. They are shooting Kate picking out her wedding dress with Jamie, and Kate wants to end the whole thing because she doesn't want to pick a dress for a wedding that isn't happening. Pam doesn't budge though, and makes her try on a dress, in which she looks gorgeous. Later that day, she visits Lucas at his shop, where he is working on a secret special project. Lucas puts her on the spot by asking her why she came over. She can't find a valid reason, so just blabbers on nervously. They go to a coffee shop together, where Lucas alarms Kate, because he displays all the red flags she tells her fans to steer clear of. Then she realizes that Lucas is doing it on purpose, because he saw her blog. They have so much fun that they don't even realize how much time has passed since they sat down. The cafe is empty at this point. Kate realizes that she has laughed after a very long time. Reflecting back on Brian, she liked the comfort and stability of being with him. Lucas deduces that she was with him because there wasn't any reason not to be. This upsets Kate, perhaps because she realizes it's true, and she leaves. She comes home to discover that there's a power and water outage. She calls Anna, who offers to be her host, but she declines because Anna has a studio apartment. Anna suggests she reach out to Lucas, but Kate doesn't like the idea very much. She's by herself in her house without any power when Lucas comes over with a flashlight. Turns out that Anna called him because he has an extra room Kate can stay in. Lucas apologizes for judging her relationship and convinces her to spend the night at his house. When she wakes up the next morning, she judges him for finding his fridge empty. He opens up a bag of groceries, and she dives into an unripe plum, which he stops her from eating. He insinuates that she might be impatient or is having issues with self-control. Kate is surprised. This is his second observation, which is actually quite true. Later that day, they show up for the appetizer tasting with Phyllis and Henry at the hotel. They taste different foods, but their choices are complete opposites of each other, and they can't settle on anything that they both like. Kate uploads the hilarious video to her blog later. Kate is bonding with Jamie while curling her hair when Lucas walks in on them. He is low-key mesmerized with her, but plays it cool. Sometime later, they both grab the same piece of pastry, and Lucas suggests that they split it. He talks about Kate's general philosophy in life, of how small annoyances become large grievances, and Kate gets offended. Apparently, this is the first time someone has pointed out her annoying habits. They watch TV together, and Kate has been hoarding the remote for way too long. Lucas doesn't find her favorite show amusing, so he asks her to change the channel. She hands him the remote, and he starts watching a cop show, which is something Kate really dislikes. She watches the show anyway, and by the time the morning sun rises, she is engrossed in the show and begging for more. Unfortunately, they have binge-watched all the episodes, so Lucas decides that it's time for them to go to bed. But Kate has already fallen asleep on the couch. He covers her in a blanket, making sure that she is warm before he heads to his room, unaware that she was awake the whole time. Kate is over at the Wrights' residence again for a Sunday night dinner, and this time, she has promised to cook. However, that turns out to be a big disaster, so she ends up ordering pizza for everyone. The Wrights tease her a bit about it, and then eat the pizza joyfully. It is now time for Kate and Lucas to pick out the flowers for their wedding. Phyllis suggests roses, but Kate feels like everyone does that. She wants to go with something different, so Lucas gives the idea of using vernaculars, because Kate loves them. Phyllis argues that those flowers are difficult to work with and unpredictable, but Lucas stands his ground in favor of the vernaculars. Once they bloom, their depth and layers are more than what anyone could anticipate. They go to decide their wedding registry after that, and Lucas wants a waffle iron, which doesn't make any sense to Kate, because she is more of a pancake fan herself. But they both find themselves making concessions for the other, which is romantic. After that, Kate sees Jamie in the wedding boutique, wearing a beautiful dress. On Kate's questioning, Jamie admits that she was rooting for them to actually get married, so she was getting ready just in case her manifestation comes true. This is a wake-up call for Kate, who realizes that real people's real feelings are involved in this, and she doesn't want anyone to get hurt. So she wants to call it off, even if it costs her the book deal. She meets up with Lucas and is about to post the news about their breakup on her blog, when Pam tells her that the publisher wants her to go to talk shows. Lucas is happy because of the exciting news, and how near Kate is to getting her dream life. He manages to convince her to let this continue for one more week. They walk to Lucas's parents' boat, while debating how different they are, and how meaningful differences are in a relationship. Lucas sails the boat for a while, which is a nervous experience for Kate. Kate is sleeping on his couch, while Lucas stares at her longingly. When she wakes up and catches him looking, he dreamily expresses his desire to kiss her. Their lips are about to meet each other when there is a knock on the door. Brian has surfaced out of nowhere, since Kate wasn't returning his calls or emails. He is done with his girlfriend for good, and regrets leaving Kate. He has realized that he still loves her and wants her back. Kate, though, now knows that even though they like the same things, they aren't meant to be together, and rejects him. Kate wants to go back to her apartment, because now she's second-guessing everything, while Lucas thinks she's just afraid, because if she admits that what they have is real, everything she said about love would prove to be wrong. She apologizes and excuses herself. Lucas is feeling sad with his family, who tell him she is about to stream in an hour. They have never seen Lucas so smitten and touched by someone, so Jamie decides to crash Kate's stream. She declares that she isn't ready to lose Kate yet, but Kate carries on, until Pam interrupts them again. She doesn't want Kate to give away everything they've worked so hard for. Kate doesn't waver and starts her stream. She starts to come clean when her stream is cut off, because Brian's ex-girlfriend Stephanie has uploaded a video exposing Kate, which is now going viral. She calls her a con and a fraud, which is very disappointing for her fans. Lucas finds Kate sitting by herself yet again, regretting everything. Lucas tries to comfort her with his love, but all she is doing is psychoanalyzing the whole situation, instead of facing her feelings for him. She keeps pushing him away, and he finally leaves. It's been 2 weeks since Kate last left her house. She is about to lose everything and everyone, including Pam and Lucas. It's the wedding day, and Susan visits to check in on her. Kate doesn't want to end up like her parents. Susan explains that love is a leap of faith, which turns out to be worth it, if there's enough love. This is when Kate sees that Lucas has uploaded a video confessing his love for her in front of everyone. She runs after him and finds the artifact he made for her, a hummingbird just like the one her mom gave her. They meet each other and finally get married on the day they were destined to. They have found a love that buds in conflict and grows over it.